Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the American Safeguard Insurance Studio. Your hosts, Matt McJunkins and Matt Wilcox with Thomas Thrash from Hootens.com, your source for Arkansas high school football. You're now between the mats.
Welcome to Between the Mats. I am Matt McJunkins. With me tonight, of course, is my man, Matty Stats Wilcox. How you doing, Matty?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. And, of course, from Hooten's Football, Thomas Thrash. How's it going, Thomas?
I'm doing great. I'm glad y'all are a lot better today.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Last time I heard y'all were pretty worked up.
We were a little worked up, but, the sun came up the next day.
It's called passion.
That's right.
It is passion.
Don't judge me by Friday nights in my life. You'll appreciate me a lot more.
You've even told on yourself several times about your emotional posting on Facebook during hall games.
So I'm football bipolar during Razorback games, and when I say that is because
You're a normal fan.
Basically, but I get on, and unfortunately, I've been so busy this year with Pee Wee and stuff that I haven't watched me because now we're playing at 11 every time. Yeah. I don't see many games.
That's right.
But I was at the fair.
But used to, usually I would be like, "Oh, we're gonna do it," and be like, "I can't believe that we are so terrible," and I'd go back and forth. Then after the game, I have a rule that after the game, a Razorback game, I go back and delete all of my comments.
All right. Well, do you let a game get ruin your day?
No,
me either.
I used to. But I don't let the Hogs ruin my day. As fired up as I was Friday night when I got home and reeled in a little bit, I was over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even like when I get mad at a Pee Wee football game, or we lose, that evening I'm usually pretty much over. We're eating steak somewhere and I'm happy, or we're going deer hunting or fishing.
I've invested nothing into helping the program, right, then I'm not going to let it affect me negatively.
I've gotten better. I'm still not good at it.
Yeah.
I've gotten better. I used to be like, we lose, I'm sour the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But I've gotten better.
I was probably as worked up Friday night as I have been in a high school game since probably Cooper and them played. But
I got to see Boonville Charleston.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a game.
But when I got home, seriously, I got home was with my kids and my family, my wife, and I got over it pretty quick. Next thing we know, we're what's football, Right.
See, I bring my kids and wife down with me, and they get them to be angry too.
Yeah. All right, so some great games Friday night.
We did have some good ones.
Some really big ones this week.
Oh man!
Hey, the Greenwood Revenge Tour starts this week. So Greenwood's coming to Little Rock to revenge their loss in the state championship.
Yeah.
And then the next week they're avenging their loss in week 10.
Yeah.
When remember that happened? It was the rain delay.
That's right.
They called them at noon like, "Hey, all right, we're gonna play at 4:00."
and speaking of revenge, Benton's down there just licking their chops, waiting for. They just hope they get a chance to play them.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Right. They hope they get the chance to play them.
Well, they'll play one of those three.
Yeah.
And
how many games has PA? I read something like they haven't lost a home game in 10 years.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How many games total is that? Do you know?
I don't know.
50, 60-ish?
No, more than that. So you're looking at 5 a year without playoffs.
Well, that's
so
true.
6, 7,
I wasn't
8.
thinking playoffs.
Probably 8 a year.
Okay.
7 or 8 a year.
Nice. It's pretty impressive.
And Greenwood's the same way. They've lost 8 or 9.
Yeah.
They're up to like 80 games now. 80 and
they're
3
about the
since
same.
80 and 3 since like 2001 or so. Yeah.
PA's home field that'll be the they need to get that because it really is a home field advantage. With the small, the stands, the walls are there.
Yeah.
It's difficult to play there, especially receivers.
Yeah, officials. The whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to get any calls there.
It'd be the same ones that were at Greenbrier,
right? Did they really get on the bus with them?
Yeah, they save gas.
So we did get a little heated, and if you were listening, I apologize if I was offensive. I just got emotional. But
so let's tell them why. What you were offended? It wasn't anything at the end.
I wasn't going to talk about this.
Go back and watch the live stream. It's the most entertaining 3 minutes.
I'm really regretful of that because I did lose my cool, and I didn't say anything like to get me kicked off or fired.
No,
I didn't talk vulgar or make any rude comments about an individual other than frustrating at the coaching staff or PA, because Greenbrier was obviously, the game was out of hand. You know,
it was an 11-point game with 45 seconds.
PA had the ball. They're driven down a ways, and then they kneel and then call a timeout
on first down.
And they call 3 timeouts, and Greenbrier's stuffing them. And the whole point is they're trying to score 3 points because they actually need 2, but they're trying to score so that they can get the 13 points And
so if they have those 13 points, then it's a 3-way tie if they beat Greenwood by 13. And then Greenwood,
and it really worked out because we stopped them 3 times and then blocked their field goal with 5 seconds left that they called a timeout to do. Anyway, I just said I thought it was classless, and I would not have done it personally, and I know you and I don't agree on that, and that's fine. I don't think it was. I think that the optics were bad.
Okay, if they wouldn't have kneeled at first, you'd be okay with that.
I'm okay with if you throw a flat pass, you run down there and score, so be it. You know, Harding scored 2 weeks ago against OBU, and OBU was upset because Harding ran the ball from the 50 into the end zone. Well, what do you do? Tell your kids start kneeling it at with 3 minutes left in the game.
Well, they didn't want to score. They had to score for the 2 points. And so they started running the ball against stuff. They realized they couldn't run the ball on them.
Well, so like they threw a long pass, it was at the start of that drive, and it got them down to like the 35 or the 40 of Greenbriers. Well, then they started running it. So everybody in the stands thinks, well, they're just running the clock out.
Yeah.
At that point, if they would have just went on down and done what they done, it probably wouldn't have been an issue.
Once they got the first down, that first down, it was pretty much over.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about it, I want to go ahead and say this. So I have a cousin. Trevor Duke is my cousin that played on the state championship team 2 years ago. Well, Owen, his brother's on this team. And I mean, these are not just like cousins who I'm related to. We kind of talk. Like, these are people who are close to me and important in my life, right?
His grandmother's watching the live stream.
Well, I will get to that, right? So I don't think about these things when I'm in the game.
Well,
right?
it's emotion. You're the announcer for the Greenbrier Panthers.
But these people are very close to me, and I'm looking for Owen occasionally. But my mom texts me because my parents watch the games on Friday night, and mom says, Owen's number 67 for the Bruins, and I was like, Mom, I know. I'll be honest with you, this is probably not a broadcast they need to be watching. And she texts me back, right? She's like, well, Mary's watching right now, who is their grandmother, who's my mom's best friend and my aunt, basically. I mean, my dad's double first cousin. So I'm like, well, I'm not being very nice about Coach Lucas and the staff right now. Anyway, so mom says, well, just call it like it is. And, my mom's just like the positive person. But then after the game, I text Brian, Owen's dad, and I'm like, listen, I just want to tell you, I gave a shout-out to Owen. It's at the end of the game. I don't recommend listening to it because I didn't say some very nice things. Anyway, he texted me back. He was like, it was like 1:30 in the morning. He texted me. They had just gotten to Fayetteville. So they left there. Greenbrier went to Fayetteville.
To go to oh, man.
Well, Trevor's in Fayetteville.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was like, hey, I get it. The coaches explained to us why, and I was like, I understand.
As a fan, you're looking at it, and it sounds terrible. Like, it's almost,
True, and here's the deal. Here's what I said a while ago, and this is how I feel about it when it comes down to it. It's not fun when it's happening to you.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, like you said, the novice fan, most fans don't know the 13-point rule. I mean, just to be honest.
And how many times will it actually come up where it is needed?
Sure.
Like, because if it plays out like PA thinks it's going to, that's a difference between a 1 and a 3 seed. Is
yeah, we'll go through several scenarios in the playoffs all throughout classifications. It's going to come up a bunch.
And I think week 2 or 3, you probably don't worry about that.
Right.
So anyway, good time as any. If I offended anyone, I apologize. Coach Lucas, your staff.
I loved listening to. I was on the way home.
You'll probably actually get a kick out of it because that's not.
Funny.
I love all people that invest in kids, and I respect them, but I just got a little fired up. Sometimes it happens.
It's the greatest.
I didn't say anything inappropriate.
He was hot.
I was hot. I was hot.
No, that was great.
Maddie does a much better job of not showing his emotions than I do because he was hot too. He's just very good at containing that and
bottling it up.
So here in about week 14, he's going to explode. His brains are going to be over the.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right, this is going to be a great show. I can already tell.
Yeah.
It's starting off good. Hey, our sponsors, American Safeguard Insurance. These guys are awesome. I like them because they pay me to work here. All right.
And that's the only reason.
No, they're good folks. Hey, they support us. They've backed us since day one.
They have.
Jason, Jeremy, Jeff, great guys. Home auto, life, commercial. We'll do it for you. Call Your Roofing.
Yeah.
We just had Jennifer here a little bit ago. Just did a new commercial because of their 10-year anniversary coming up on the 8th of November.
8th of November.
They brought in a special chef. The Teal Grill, Maddie Stats Wilcox will be the chef. Maddie Stats Wilcox going to cook a mean burger.
That's right.
I can't wait.
Hey, if you've never had a Teal Grill burger, you're missing out.
I've had lots of Teal Grill burgers, and I'm still excited. And then, of course, Jason Everett's Globe Life, Liberty National, Everett and Associates. I got to hang out with Everett Saturday. Jason called. He did the PA for all of the Pee Wee game Saturday.
Okay, cool.
The first round of the playoffs.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, apparently he's been doing it for the black teams. The blue teams that my boys are on are obviously different places than they are.
Right.
All of his kids, he's got 7 boys, so he's got somebody on about every team on the black side. So he did the game Saturday, did a great job. They're just involved in everything.
They are great folks.
Yep. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll start with our 7A top 10s.
Big enough to serve you, small enough to care. That's not just a tagline. It's what we believe at Collier Roofing and Seamless Gutters. We also believe that relationships are more important than sales figures. By focusing on relationships, we have been blessed with 10 years in this industry. The Collier Roofing team will celebrate those 10 years of service in November, the month of thanks and gratitude. To commemorate this achievement and provide an expression of our thanks, we invite our trusted partners, clients, and friends to join us in a celebration on Wednesday, November the 8th. For details, follow Collier Roofing LLC on Facebook.
Your insurance is only as good as your agent. At American Safeguard Insurance, we have excellent agents. I'm Tori Martin, Personal Lines Manager with ASI. Our team makes customer service a priority. American Safeguard Insurance does everything in-house, from personal to commercial, bonds to life and health. We will work fast and efficiently for you. Stop by and meet the ASI family in our new location at 1165 Bob Courtway Drive, or visit AmericanSafeguardINS.com for a free quote. Experience more coverage, more savings, and more service with American Safeguard Insurance.
All right, we're back here in the American Safeguard Insurance Studio. It's time for our top 10s. Maddie, take it away with 7A.
All right. Week 9. Can you believe that? Week 9.
It's crazy. I mean, one more week after this and regular season's over.
It kind of depresses me a little bit.
A little bit.
So week 9, top 10s for 7A. Hasn't changed much. You got Bryant at the top at 7-1. They beat Cabot 35-17 in a game that, we looked at that score early on. Like, it was really close there at halftime.
Like,
Bryant's
even
defense.
late, like even the third quarter close.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on a Cabot team that was up 7-0 in the third quarter versus Central the week before.
That's right. So it kind of a head scratcher there. I'm not sure really what happened in that game, but
And one thing too is Cabot's, regardless of who they're going to slow it down.
well, it's hard
They
to
play well at home.
I was going to say it's hard to play at Cabot too. Yeah. So Bryant still gets the win, 35-17. They will play at Northside this week.
Kevin Kelly picked that.
He picked a long shot. He said this is probably an extreme long shot. He goes, but how cool will it be? He goes, I mean, it'll be awesome. I'm like, yeah. And I told him, I was like, you're going to pick them to lose their 5-year in-state winning streak. And he goes, I mean, you can't ever pick what did he say? You can't have an upset win if you don't have the upset.
Yeah.
So number 2, Conway Wampus Cats continue to roll. They beat Central 55-0 to move to 8-0 on the season. They will be at Jonesboro this week. So fellas, we all know the game's in week 10. Bryant Conway, right? Jonesboro's playing better football.
Jonesboro's won 3 in a row, and they've got their new quarterback. Well, so Terrence Brown got hurt. Asa Myers came in. And he's a sophomore.
Okay.
He's taller. He stands in the pocket. He's probably a better passer. And he's done well.
So
How many teams go? 6?
6.
Like, no, everybody goes in 7. Literally, anybody that has a pulse.
So, well, I guess my question is there any chance that Conway goes up there in a trap game?
It's theoretically possible. Because Jonesboro's got some athletes.
They do.
And because this Week 10 game is just looming over
Oh
everything.
yeah, luckily Bryant's got Northside. I say luckily, but it's a lesser of an opponent. than
Jonesboro has a
Jonesboro.
better chance of upsetting Conway.
I'll say the difference from last year when that happened at Cabot to Conway and this year.
The Cabot was just a better team that night.
They
They were
were.
more physical. Like they just.
But
hammered
also, have you ever seen Buck James lose a trap game?
Well, we haven't in 5
them. We
years.
hadn't seen him lose any game.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that happens to him.
Yeah.
Now, granted, those kids are the ones on the field, but
Sure.
I think his ability to prepare them mentally, they don't take a play
It's
off.
the Bryant probably kids that are more looking forward to beating, to the Week
Yeah.
10 than the Conway.
Sure.
Conway's just, they're not playing their old coach.
Right, and I said this on my radio show earlier last week is being able to interview some of these Conway kids, they just have a resolve about them. They're focused. They've got something to prove, and so I think they'll go up there and get it done. Number 3, Fayetteville, 8-0 in the season. Man, this offense is impressive. Beat Springdale 52-15. They will be at Rogers Heritage this week. Number 4, Bentonville beat Rogers. Close ball game. A good Rogers team. Bentonville beat them 28-21 after that tough loss last week to Fayetteville. They bounced back. They will be at home versus Springdale. Number 5, Bentonville West beat Heritage 53-0, and they will be at Southside. Be a tough ball game.
This
here.
is a good Southside team, a good offense. They just scored 77 points.
Yeah.
They're scoring points, and so
and they've scored a lot of points on a lot of people.
no, they lost to Rogers on the last drive. It was like 45-49 or something.
Right.
Rogers
and
scored
then
36.
you throw in it being at Southside.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
mean,
This is definitely an upset possibility.
Okay, number 6 is Rogers. Lost to Bentonville 28-21. They will be at Springdale Harbor. Number 7, Cabot, 4-4 on the season. They will be at Northside. Number 8, Southside, Fort Smith Southside beat Harbor 77-54. That's a lot of points. And
there's two sides of the way of looking
Yeah,
at that.
they
too.
gave up 54.
They gave up 54 points.
that's right. They will be against Bentonville West. Number 9, Jonesboro, like we talked about, will play Conway, but they beat Southwest 27-12 for their 4th win in a row. Is that right?
Third
win in a row. And then North Little Rock, number 10, 3-5 on the season, beat Northside 47-21.
And they come out after that pretty good little butt kicking they got from Jonesboro.
Yeah.
And put up 47 points on the north side team that hadn't been playing bad.
Yeah, that's right. So that will do it for our top 10 for 7A.
All right, well, that just takes us to 6A. Number 1, Greenwood, they're 8-0 after beating Russellville 56-20. You know, that Russellville team has played good at times and won some games and been in a lot of games. You know, they lost a game to Van Buren and to Mountain Home, both of them very close.
Mm-hmm.
But it just shows you how good Greenwood is. They just took care of business.
Coach Kelly, our 7A guy, he talked to Rick Jones, I guess, last week, and he said this Greenwood team may be the best one he's ever seen.
Is that right?
And that is
That's high praise. Yes.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
He's like defensively, offensively, everything.
Yeah.
I tell you what, the Archer kid, the defensive end is the Cash Archer.
Yeah.
That sucker
Yes.
can fly.
Yeah, he can play.
I'm excited. So I'm going to be there. That'll be my first game
I
for
think
Greenwood
he's-
this year.
I want to say he's got like 12 or 13 sacks on the season.
Yeah,
It's
and
silly.
you look at him and you're like, how's he going to play SEC football? Like, because you're thinking of him as an end, right?
Yeah.
And then we saw him run down a kid on our team our running back who's pretty doggone fast. Yeah. He run him down.
Did you see all
And
those
you're like,
broken
oh,
tackles?
that makes sense.
Yeah.
You see all those broken tackles on the Greenwood live stream. Tim Terry posted, said, just go to this live stream and go to this time. It's Grant Carnes just, yes, it's, I don't know if Russellville wasn't tackling that well or not, but it was impressive.
Wow.
All night.
So Greenwood goes to Pulaski Academy this week. Going to be a big game, as that will. I mean, that you got implications for number 1 seed there. Then
I
number.
think it's Greenwood's all the way.
I think we all believe that, but the possibilities there.
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah. Number 2, Benton 8-1 beat Searcy 50-20. They go to West Memphis. You know, this Benton team is just rolling.
They are.
And the numbers, you know, Drew Davis is just impressive.
Efficient,
Very efficient, and that's big. Christian, Little Rock Christian 71. They beat Van Buren 58-3. They'll play the Panthers of Greenbrier Friday night in Little Rock. Number 4, Pulaski Academy 7-1 after they beat the Panthers. They will they'll play Greenwood at home, as we mentioned. Number 5, Marion. The quarterback had a great game Friday night, almost 500 yards, I think, in the air. They beat Sheridan 55-21. They'll play at Sylvan Hills. Number 6, West Memphis 6-2. Beat Greene County Tech 49-13. But they'll have to play against the Panthers of Benton at home. Little Rock Catholic, number 7, 6-2 after an impressive win over Jacksonville 44-0. They'll play El Dorado at home. Searcy, 5-3, losing to Benton, will go to Jacksonville and try to recover from that loss. Mountain Home, number 9, they beat Siloam 51-14. They'll play at home against Van Buren. And then number 10, Greenbrier, 4-4 after losing to PA 42-31. They will go to Little Rock Christian.
Greenbrier, though, they played a great game Friday.
Boy.
Honestly, that's probably the best game they played all year.
You know, had a touchdown that after you see the replay, he was in the end zone, and I'm not sure how it was missed because the official was on the line watching.
Sure.
But what could have even been even closer?
And, you know, in that game, PA gets the first 2 onside kicks and goes up 14-0 before Greenbrier has the ball.
And also, I mean, it was 28-7 in the second half, something like that.
Yeah, we outscored them 28-7 second half.
I mean, I'm telling you, another quarter, I think Greenbrier would have really probably
They
could
would
have
have
possibly
been
won.
like Shiloh and Farmington.
Well, I'll say I think they could have won because they tried to score at the end of the game and got stopped again. I mean, three times and then blocked the field goal.
And we talked about it in pregame. You know, one of his keys to victory was you got to field all the onside kicks. You can't give them extra possessions, and that was the difference.
And they're undefeated with 2.
Are they really?
Are they really?
Yeah.
That's a good stat.
That's an incredible stat.
That is.
They're with 1. I think they're like 50 and 3 or whatever it is.
So a little conference notes for 6A.
Oh yeah, I forgot you did this.
Yeah. So the East, assuming West Memphis loses to Benton, Benton's the heavy favorite in that one, and wins Week 10 versus Sylvan Hills. That will put them at 7-2. Okay. Marion plays Sylvan Hills this week. They should get that victory, but they play Catholic next week, and so if they win Week 9 and lose to Catholic, they'll put them at 7-2 and Catholic at 7-2. So there you have that perfect triangle, and that tiebreaker comes in. So West Memphis, let's see, right now West Memphis has 72 tiebreaker points, Marion 71, and Catholic 65. So it's going to be interesting.
So I think the East is a lot better this year compared to the West. Remember last year the West was so much better. This year the outside of
compared to the West, but not better than
I'm
the
saying
West.
though,
But
but the 3 seed in the West, which is PA, is definitely not like the 3 seed last year. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. In most years, it seems.
Yeah.
So do you want to go over the West, or do you want me to do it?
No, keep going. Keep
All
going.
right, so
I was going to ask you, did you do 7A?
I didn't go over it. No.
We'll jump back and do it in a little bit if you want.
Okay, yeah. So the West, of course, there's still a lot to play for at the top between Greenwood, PA, and Christian. That'll all be, worked out these next 2 weeks. In the
Hope PA don't need those tiebreakers.
in the
That would be the funniest thing ever, though.
Yeah.
in the bottom, it's a complete mess. Okay, so Greenbrier more than likely loses to Little Rock Christian this week.
Yeah, I mean, logic's
They're number
exists.
They're number 3 in the state for a reason. That will move them to 3 and 4. Okay, Lake Hamilton plays Russellville, so Russellville will more than likely beat Hamilton, which will knock Hamilton out of the playoffs. Okay, it's all going to come down to that Greenbrier Mountain Home game, but the Mountain Home Van Buren game this week is huge for that reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
If Van Buren beats Mountain Home, Greenbrier can still lose to Mountain Home and go because of points. It's just a mess. So,
and the funny thing too,
And maybe they should have gotten some more points earlier.
well, actually, they're
hey,
leading.
if they
in
really
points.
wanted, if they were worried about those points, they should have got them. Hey, so another thing to think about too, for Mountain Home is they play Lake Hamilton before their quarterback gets hurt.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Greenbrier, that wasn't even a game.
Yeah.
but they didn't have
Sure.
the guys, you know.
If Greenbrier beats Mountain Home and Van Buren beats Mountain Home, they'll both be 4-4 in conference, but Greenbrier will get the 4 seed because of the head-to-head.
Because of head-to-head.
If they lose, then it's going to come down to points.
And it's funny because isn't it crazy how that Van Buren team seems to be completely different after the Greenbrier game?
Yeah, they have.
I mean, at the Greenbrier game, you know, they first drive downfield, we're like, oh, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the game, they can't do anything, and we're just scoring as at will. And then after that, they're beating the brakes off everybody.
Yeah.
That's the exact same scenario. PA and Laura Christian, first drive, touchdown.
Yeah.
Didn't see the end zone all night.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So go ahead and go through 7A since we're here.
All right, so the West in 7A, Bentonville West, Week 10. That matchup will be for the number 2 seed. Fayetteville's pretty much got number 1 seed wrapped up there. So that
Is that a game?
I mean, it's a rivalry, you know.
Yeah.
So who knows?
So most time it's not.
Most time it's not.
But it could be this year.
I mean, there's a lot.
Fayetteville and who?
No, Bentonville and Bentonville West.
Week 10.
Yeah, you know, that'll be a game.
Yeah, I think, you know, for seeding purposes and with it being
And West is playing a lot better now than they were when Cabot beat them week 3.
Did Nye play this past week?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Sure. I don't know either. All right, in the Central, we talked about Bryant Conway. We know that's be for a conference championship, Week 10. So after that, you've got Cabot, Jonesboro, North Little Rock, all 3-2 in conference. Looking at the schedules, it's probably going to come down to Cabot, North Little Rock, Week 10 for that 3 seed.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
Still a lot to play for there in the 7A as well.
There is.
Jonesboro beat North Little Rock.
Yeah, head to head. That's right.
All right, we got to take a break. We're running close on time because we just got so much good stuff.
That's right.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll hit our 5 and 4.
Hey, high school sports fans, this is Matt McJunkins with Between the Mats, better known as Junk. For several years now, I have felt protected personally having coverage with Globe Life, Liberty National Division, Everett Associates for cancer, accidental death, and more. I feel even better now that I found out that with their Accident Protector Max policy, my boys are covered on and off the field. It provides accidental death and dismemberment for the entire family with coverage for emergency treatment, hospital stays, and more. The best part, in the unfortunate event that we have an accident, the benefits are paid directly to me. For just a few bucks a day, I can't afford not to have it. As a dad of athletes, it's important to know that my kids are protected. It's important for your kids to be protected too. Give them a call today at 501-225-5556. Globe Life, Liberty National Division, Everett & Associates. They'll get you covered.
All right, we're back here in the studio. It's time for 5A. Let's get it.
All right, 5A for Week 9. Top 10s, Little Rock Parkview, no surprise there. 8-0, beat Magnolia last Thursday, 42-0. Impressive win there for Parkview. They will be at Lakeside this week, and so I mean, that's a big game for them. I think Parkview's got their 2 toughest tests of conference these last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We'll see how close it is, but it's still their 2 toughest tests.
And don't expect anybody from Parkview to have stats this week. They probably had 100 yards offense total. I mean, I'm telling you, it was in the second quarter. They may not have 100, and they're up 42-0.
That's crazy.
It's just punt return, kick. They
Score in all kinds of ways.
It was crazy.
Robinson has a return of some kind for a touchdown every week.
Yeah.
The fact that people keep kicking to him is unbelievable.
Right. Number 2 is Valley View. After we've had some losses up at the top, Valley View moves up to number 2. They beat Southside 31-21. They will be at Nettleton this week. Number 3, Hot Springs beat Arkansas High. Dominating win here for Hot Springs, 50-14. Big test for them this week as they play at Camden Fairview.
Hey, our scholar athlete of the week for First Community Bank is going to be Kendall Williams, the defensive end for Hot Springs.
Nice.
So we're going there tomorrow to do it.
So, you know, Arkansas High, they've played some good football this year, and then you look at Hot Springs, how they just handled them. Is that Hot Springs getting better, or is that Arkansas High?
Arkansas High has their running back.
Yeah, he's out,
off
isn't
the
he?
team.
Yeah, he's
It's a
off.
Long
He's
story.
gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, but Coach Outlaw, Trey Outlaw, this is his second year
Right.
there. He's in a really good
If you
job.
look at them last year,
I mean, I'm telling you,
this
the
is a
amount of
huge
improvement is unbelievable.
Sure.
And, you know, we weren't really fair sometimes about Lakeside because, you know, you're like, well, God, they went down to Magnolia and laid an egg. Well, they've been winning for the first time in years.
Sure.
I mean, really winning.
Yeah.
I mean, if Parkview's not in that conference, they're not.
It's a
closer.
knot. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, number 4. How about this win? Little Rock Mills down 13 players beats Robinson
I
30
don't
to
get that.
21. I mean, that's a head scratcher to me. Listen, we talked
Without
about
Ringo and Charles,
Yeah.
their quarterback, that was tough. But the quarterback that came in,
Yeah.
he looked good.
Did he?
He looked really good.
Well, and they're just loaded with athletes.
I mean, they do have some talent. They have some talent.
Yeah.
you know, I was hoping that didn't happen, so we could have seen that game.
Robinson, though,
Right.
has got a great defense.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna tell you, that's
They're just young.
They are
They're
very,
bad
very young.
Yeah.
But they've struggled to put away teams. You know, like
Yeah.
Forest City.
Which is a sign of a young team.
Yeah. But
And
they're
you
gonna
know Escola's coaching them up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they got good coaching staff.
So Mills will play at home against Morrilton, a Morrilton bunch that has played well as of late. Just can't seem to quite get over the hump as they lost last week to Pine Bluff, 26-6. And Pine Bluff is our number 5 team. They're 7-2 on the season. They will be off this week. Number 6, Shiloh Christian. Man,
Ooh, this is the head scratcher.
6-2 on the season. They were just rolling and looked like. I mean, honestly, everybody kind of thought it was going to be Parkview and Shiloh in the finals. I mean,
This is the Shallow Christian team that beat the brakes off of Little Rock Christian, and Bo Williams ran for 400 yards.
very true.
But this is a J.R. Eldridge coach team.
Yeah,
With a quarterback that's gone.
yeah.
So, I mean, it's.
Farmington, hey, look for them to make a run. Now,
I mean, they're always going to be competitive. Yeah.
now what's Farmington's record now?
I have to look.
Is this going to be a split? Are they?
Yeah,
they
they
have
have one loss in
loss?
conference.
Farmington does.
Mm-hmm.
So they beat Harrison.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Who beat Farmington? Now I'm not having my notes.
Oh man, I'd have to go back. And
Sure.
check.
I
Shiloh-
think it might have been Harrison.
It may have been
I
Harrison.
think Harrison beat him because we were kind of like Harrison hasn't had a good season,
Right.
and even like they
Harrison's
struggled with-
running back is
Or was it?
legit.
Or was it Alma?
I don't remember, but I know that they struggled with
Alma has
Darnell
one
Friday.
loss. Farmington has one loss, and now Shiloh has one loss. So it's going to be a mess. So Christian did lose to Farmington 31-28. They will play Prairie Grove this week. Number 7, Joe T. Robinson drops down to number 7 after they lost to Mills. They will be at Whitehall. Number 8, Hot Springs Lakeside beat the Queen 48-14. They will have the privilege of playing Parkview this week. Number 9, Maumelle beat Watson Chapel 56-14. Maumelle will play Valonia, a Valonia team that's won 2 in a row. I mean, hey, you get hats off to Valonia.
That's a streak.
Yeah, they've had a rough year, but somehow pulled it together these last 2 weeks and got the W. And then number 10, Camden Fairview, 6-2 on the season, beat Hope 48-14, and they will play Hot Springs.
It was Alma that beat Farmington.
I was thinking it was.
They beat Harrison 43-40.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, does that get us to 4?
Unless you want to go through these notes.
Yeah, go through them. Go
All
through
right,
them.
so 5A in the Central, assuming Robinson beats Whitehall this week. You know, Whitehall got beat by Valonia. They haven't been playing well lately.
No, they've struggled lately.
So if Robinson beats Whitehall, they would play Pine Bluff week 10. So that would be a big game. If Mills wins out, they win the conference, hands down, because they'll have the head-to-head over Robinson and Pine Bluff. Morrilton and Maumelle battling for the number 4 spot. In the East, still lots to shake out in this conference as Valley View sits at top and controls their own destiny.
Well, now Nettleton's the one-loss team too, so Nettleton could make this a 3-way tie.
That's
first.
right. That's what I said. Was what I have here. But Nettleton, they play Nettleton this week. So, and then they got Batesville next week, which is not great this year, but still Batesville. You know
exactly.
And then the South, you know, it's Parkview's. It's Parkview's to lose. They've got their 2 toughest tests. The 2 through the 4 seed will come down to week 10 because there's still a lot to play for there. And then in the West, Farmington threw a wrench in things last week, knocking off Shiloh. Huge game week 10 between Alma and Shiloh. So that'll be
for the conference championship. So the winner of the West and the South, it'll be Parkview and the winner of either Shiloh in the same side of the bracket.
Oh wow, they match up.
So they'll match up in the semis, which is tough.
Gotcha. All right, John, take us through 4A.
4A. Number 1, Malvern. They did not play, but they will play a scrapper team from Nashville, and they'll play them at home. Expect Malvern to probably take this one as they just continue to impress all season long with maybe the best running back in the state. Probably my favorite, at least. Number 2, Harding Academy, 8-0, beat Riverview 45-7. And let me tell you, they're going to play a Heber Springs team at home Friday night that is on a high right now.
Coach Basker's got them rolling.
Is he doing the best job of any? I mean,
Who's doing better?
I mean,
I'm
you look
telling
at where they were and where they've come to this
they
year.
won 6 games in the last 3 years.
You know, you look at teams like, or you look at like Coach Plumley and the Bolden brothers, and you know, how can you do any better than that? But this guy's taking.
I saw Heber Springs play last year, and
this guy's taking a program that was nothing like this.
Yeah.
it was the same kind of guy.
That's kind of like what Hathcock did last year at Mineral Springs, and what Shock did over in Carlisle last year. So
absolutely, and think about Coach Price down at Stuttgart.
That's right.
Took a couple years ago.
He had those sophomores, and he knew they were coming.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times the coaches that do the best job, that no one really knows about because they win, 8 games or 9, but you know where they came from. It's not the guys that win the state championship.
Sure.
Well, and that's like I look at coaches like DJ Mars over in Quitman. He's there. He invests in a program. He's coaching kids from the time they're in the 3rd grade.
Mm-hmm.
If he's there that long, somebody may come and grab him. But if he's there long enough, he will see huge success at Quitman in some point.
Yep.
Those guys that are in 3rd grade when he started coaching them, and when they're
That's
seniors,
right. That's right. And he's got 26 kids right now, and several of those are hurt.
Sure.
So he's struggling to get a team together.
Yeah.
But if it's just proven, it's proven.
It's a long run.
It's a long run deal, and he's going to be. If he's not great at Quitman, he's going to be great somewhere.
Sure.
All right, so that gets us to number 3, Warren, who is 8-0, beat Monticello 42-21. They'll play at Helena, West Helena. Number 4, go ahead.
Late. It was close. It was a 21-20.
Well, this is one I thought was going to be close.
Well, and this Warren team, let's be honest, they've scored on everybody this year, but they have not played very good defense.
I think they may have been down 21-14 or something.
But I said it last week. It's different down there. All these teams are loaded with athletes.
Oh, unbelievable athletes.
And at any time, one of these kids can pop one and score.
Sure.
So it's hard to always shut them out.
Sure.
It's just a little different. They'll play at Helena, West Helena. Number 4, Elkins. They're 8-0. Beat Ozark 38-0. They're going to have to score 70 points next week to get that average back up.
That's right.
Hey, let me tell you, they're doing some impressive things offensively. And that Ozark team, we didn't know if that might be a close game.
Yeah.
But they pulled it out 38-0. They'll play Gentry at home. Number 5, Rivercrest, 6-2. They beat Gosnell 42-15. They'll play Truman at home. Number 6, DeWitt, 7-1. They did not play, and they got a tough one this week as they go to McGee.
Tough place to play.
Absolutely. I think Crossett beat that McGee team by 1.
By 1, I believe. Yeah.
Arkadelphia, number 7, they're the best 4-3 team in football. They beat Ashdown 42-0 after beating Nashville a week or two ago. Similar score. They're just they've taken reign as the second number 2 in that conference, and they still hadn't played Malvern yet.
Yeah, they've won 4 in a row.
Yes.
They keep getting better each week.
Impressive fashion.
That's right. They're going to go to Fordyce this week. I think they'll take care of that one, but
Fordyce is a good team.
Fordyce has been good.
Fordyce lost in the last
Kevin
second.
Havergrove?
And then Bates was there. He was telling me about it.
Was he?
It was a great game.
Number 8, Ozark. They lost to Elkins, and they'll play at Gravett Friday night. Blytheville, 6-3. Beat Truman in a game that was closer than I expected. Truman's got a good defense, but I was kind of surprised it was 30-24. But Blytheville will play Pocahontas Friday night at home. And then to wrap it up, number 10, number 10, Cross at 5-3. Beat Helena 53-0.
Taylor Pascal, he's the number 6. He's that receiver.
Is he leading the state in 4A?
4A, and he's like the 2-time state long jump champion.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I tell you, he's unbelievable.
Well, they're going to go to Dumas Friday night. Matty, give us the notes on 4A.
So this is a quick rundown because there's still a lot to be decided in 4A.
A lot for 2 weeks of football.
Yeah.
4A, everybody can win it.
Right.
That's right. In the 4A, it looks like Elkins is going to take the 1 seed. Huge game between Ozark and Gravett this week for seeding purposes. In the 2, Harding and Heber Springs will play for the 1-2 seed this week. Looks like if Stuttgart beats Lone Oak this week, which they should, it'll come down to them and Bald Knob. Week 10, who would have ever thought?
There you go.
Who would have ever thought Week 10 would be Bald Knob and Stuttgart for the 3 seed?
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. In the 3, more than likely comes down to Week 10 between Blytheville and Rivercrest for the conference championship. And then you got Pocahontas, Highland, and Truman all playing for that 3 and 4 seed.
Yeah.
And in the 4, all I've got is wow. I
They're
Is
only
there is there a team that's not in the race?
No, Dover and Hall.
Dover,
are.
Stoke. Yeah, okay.
But 7 other teams have a legit shot
Yeah.
at winning.
100%.
Either winning conference or not making playoffs.
That's it. There's going to be
Three of them aren't.
There's going to be some good teams get left home.
That's right.
Yeah, so, I mean, a lot to determine in that conference, to say the least. In the 7, Malvern has Nashville and Arkadelphia left. So 2 big games for Malvern.
Big time.
If they beat Nashville this week, it comes down to them and Arkadelphia week 10.
10, there's so many good games.
I know
I
it.
wish we had more people. I wish I had more time.
We're going to have Mountain Home here, right, in Greenbrier?
Yes.
So I'm planning on going Thursday night and watching Mineral Springs play at
Murfreesboro.
Murfreesboro.
That'd
That's
be-
right.
that'd be
That's right.
fun.
That's right.
That Thursday
pumped
night,
up.
I'm going to Dennis Gaines and versus Mark, the EPC versus Mark Tree.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Are you
too.
going to one?
I'm going to find one somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Thursday?
Yeah.
All right.
Be fun.
Yeah.
In the 8, it looks like Warren will take the 1 seed. They got Hamburg and Helena, West Helena left, so they should wrap that up. DeWitt, Monticello, Crossett, and McGee. Still a lot to figure out these last
Yeah.
2 weeks. So that'll
It's
wrap
wild,
up,
man.
That'll
It's
wrap up
wild.
4A.
All right, we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we'll finish up our top 10s with 3 and 2.
Big enough to serve you, small enough to care. That's not just a tagline, it's what we believe at Collier Roofing and Seamless Gutters. We also believe that relationships are more important than sales figures. By focusing on relationships, we have been blessed with 10 years in this industry. The Collier Roofing team will celebrate those 10 years of service in November, the month of thanks and gratitude. To commemorate this achievement and provide an expression of our thanks, we invite our trusted partners, clients, and friends to join us in a celebration on Wednesday, November the 8th. For details, follow Collier Roofing LLC on Facebook.
Hey, high school sports fans, this is Matt McJunkins with Between the Mats, better known as Junk. For several years now, I have felt protected personally having coverage with Globe Life, Liberty National Division, Everett Associates for cancer, accidental death, and more. I feel even better now that I found out that with their Accident Protector Max policy, my boys are covered on and off the field. It provides accidental death and dismemberment for the entire family with coverage for emergency treatment, hospital stays, and more. The best part, in the unfortunate event that we have an accident, the benefits are paid directly to me. For just a few bucks a day, I can't afford not to have it. As a dad of athletes, it's important to know that my kids are protected. It's important for your kids to be protected too. Give them a call today at 501-225-5556. Globe Life, Liberty National Division, Everett and Associates. They'll get you covered. All right, we're back here. It's time for 3A. Matty?
All right, 3A Week 9 for Between the Mats. Number 1, Boonville, the Bearcats. Big win last week in a hard-fought game against Charleston. They beat them 25-15 to move them to 6-2 on the season. Pretty good game for them coming this week. After that emotional win, they will have Lavaca this week, and Lavaca's played pretty well all season.
Hey, did I tell you about Dax Goff broke the Boonville rushing record?
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, and it was at Charleston. It was a great game. I was there.
Yeah.
But his best plays, I don't think I've told y'all. He had probably 3 fourth-down stops. Charleston's driving on the 30-yard line like 3 different times, and stops them like fourth, and they have to come out and measure. And
Wow.
And it was huge.
Yeah.
But Charleston was without their starting quarterback,
Wow.
and so Ricky Mays did a great job.
He's done a great job. Because
That team will be a very tough out.
They lost 15 seniors off the state championship last year, 13 of those being starters. So
One of them
yeah,
might have been the best quarterback in the state last
he
year.
was
Him
good.
and Luke King, yeah.
Yeah.
They were
Right,
legit.
top 2, yeah.
Number 2, Prescott 8-0 on the season. Beat Smackover 27-0. They will not play this week. Number 3, Salem 8-0 did not play. They will play Perryville. Perryville playing well right now. I think that will be for the conference championship. So number 4, Hoxie 8-0 on the season. Beat Manila 41-7. They will play at home against Osceola. Number 5, Charleston. We talked about that game against Boonville. Charleston's 4-4 on the season, but still a really good football team. They will be at West Fork this week. Number 6, Harmony Grove, Ouachita County. I know Junk loves that name. They're 7-2 on the season.
That's Kevin Harmony Grove.
Beat Fordyce 29-28 in a heck of a ball game, and they will be off this week. Number 7, Glen Rose beat Two Rivers 63-0. They will be at Center Point. That will be for big playoff seeding purposes there. I think both of them are undefeated in conference.
I did not realize because Centerpoint started out so poorly.
Yeah, they played well.
Well, they
recently.
have turned it.
They have.
But no, Perryville, though, that's a big game. That's a real big game. Salem, we've seen them once against Newport, and they've got a great running back, running both of them. They've got two guys that can really run the ball. But Perryville's guy that is Colin Firth. Is that, I think it's
Frith, I think.
Frith.
Yeah.
Frith,
He's got 10 interceptions.
Yeah,
on the
and
season.
he's a quarterback.
Yeah, he's quarterback too. So he's like sixth in the nation in interceptions or something like that.
It's got to be.
Read that right.
He's got 10.
That's sweet. He had
Yeah.
2 last week, right?
I mean, he's from Perry County, so it's got to be tough.
That's right. Number 8, Walnut Ridge, 7-2, beat Osceola 32-22. Osceola played much better in that ball game. They will play at Manila this week. Number 9, Bismarck beat Danville 61-0. They will be at Two Rivers. And then number 10, Junction City, 5-3 on the season, beat Hampton 49-6, and they will play Horatio.
All right, go ahead and hit us with your notes, and then I got to tell you something about Des Arc and to follow up from last week.
All right, so the 3A conference notes in the 1. Looks like Boonville takes care of business this week against Lavaca. They win the conference. Charleston should take the 2 seed with Lavaca, Mansfield, and Hackett battling for the 3 and 4. In the 2, still a lot of games these next 2 weeks. Atkins, who got their first win 2 weeks ago, still has a chance to make the playoffs.
Because they've got another one.
Yeah.
Friday night, that's a streak, 2-0.
It's actually streaks. I just should have told you earlier. It's three
and more.
Yeah, but
It's kind of like the difference between a couple and a few.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's a streak. It's a streak.
So Atkins could actually grab the 4 seed if they were to beat
And
Melbourne.
let me tell you, I've been
week 10.
talking to Brian Touchdown Sims, RDP, and we've got a week off
That's right.
to prepare for Melbourne.
That's right. Got 2 weeks to get
Got
ready.
2 weeks to get ready for Melbourne.
Hey, then they'll take that 3-game winning streak into the playoffs and be riding that high.
Well, that's what I told him. I said, if you guys win that, no, regardless of what happens in the playoffs, you're going into next season winning 3 games in a row in the conference.
Absolutely. That's huge.
Absolutely.
He told me last year when he had a great junior high, he's like, we got a lot of guys coming. He said,
Yeah, they did.
And then their junior high team, didn't they go, they only lost 1 game this year, right?
Right,
So
and
they-
their junior, their 10th grade quarterback got hurt Friday night, which you'd have thought, well, that does it. But the guy that was started before him came in and just wowed and took it and won.
Good deal. In the 3, these last 2 weeks will be wild. Still a lot to play for in the 3. In the 4, looks like Glen Rose and Centerpoint play this week. Winner will probably win the conference championship, but Centerpoint does play Bismarck week 10. So
And that Bismarck team's good.
Yes, they are.
But that Glen Rose team is really playing at a high level.
yeah. In the 5, Prescott going to win the conference and be the 1 seed. Junction City should finish as the 2, and then you got Falk, Smackover, and Gurdon fighting for the last 2 spots. And then in the 6, looks like it's going to come down to week 10 between Harmony Grove and Barton for the conference championship. If Barton beats Harmony Grove, it'll be the perfect triangle between Harmony Grove, Barton, and
Not Fordyce?
Fordyce.
Yeah.
So,
There's some great games this week.
All right.
hey, and here's the kicker on that too. All 3 teams right now are separated by 1 tiebreaker point.
Really?
Yes.
What are they going to do if the tiebreakers they all have the 13
I think it's
points?
a coin flip.
But 3-way?
Yeah, kind of like. Did you not watch Friday Night Lights?
I don't remember. I don't remember how they
That's
did
why you saved your timeouts for the end of the game. In case you need to call them while you're up. To get those tiebreaker points. It's going to be a joke now, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, so you ready for me to start on 2?
Yeah.
Because I got some good stuff. All right.
let's do it.
So last week we talked about Uncle Gary over there in Des Arc running the football, the game ball, from Des Arc to Hazen, vice versa, right? So Blake's dad, Terry, Gary's brother, T.O., we call him T.O., it was not a motorcycle. He did ride his bicycle to Searcy with the game ball.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So he took it from probably Des Arc to Harding Academy, rode it on a bicycle. Let me tell you what else T.O. did. I can't believe I forgot about this last week when we were going. You remember in Conway at Toad Suck Days when they used to do Stuck on a Truck?
Yeah.
Terry Odom, he wasn't a young man. I mean, his kids were grown. Started on Thursday. On Monday morning, he won it.
You're kidding me.
From Thursday till Monday morning, he won Stuck on the Truck.
Goodness gracious. This guy's a machine.
He is a machine.
That's impressive. That needs to go
The
in the
next
story
year,
again, too.
the next year, Blake's brother Jacob Did it.
You're kidding.
Won it.
No way.
Won it. Went far past his dad by like 3 or 4 hours. Won it. So they won 2 trucks in 2 years.
That's insane.
What kind of truck?
They're like
F-150s, weren't they?
it might have been
How much
F-150.
is that worth at the time?
It was $25,000 truck then, probably. 20,
So
20, yeah.
for 3 days, it's $7,000 a day.
So he gave. So get this. He gave that truck to Jacob. Like Jacob was going to college, and so he won that truck and gave it to him.
So Jacob was driving a truck that was won by that keep
Yes.
on there, and then he won it.
and then he won it.
I would definitely not be dedicated enough to have one in my possession and then go, like, I
And
need
still
to
do it, knowing I don't really have to win. Yeah,
That's right.
So let me tell you, the Odoms are machines. So anyway, all right. So 2A, number 1, Middle Springs are 8-0 after beating Mount Ida 52-13. Had some question marks here just with Mount Ida playing Murfreesboro so close, 2-point game. I thought, man, maybe Mount Ida's kind of turned it a little bit. But boy, Middle Springs, they're giving up 5 points a game.
That's impressive. Hey, I got a big one this week.
Big one
Yeah.
with Poen.
Yeah. I mean, Poen's got 1 loss in conference.
Yeah.
I think it'll be their biggest test.
That's the
So
home,
far.
home
So
of Barry
far.
Grooms.
That's right. I think that this week and next week's going to tell everything.
That's right.
Because, hey, as much of a Middle Springs fan as I am, they don't have it like they do over there at Des Arc Carlisle where you're playing literally every week. You know, what they have to battle is kids playing more than a half
That's
and
right.
keeping them rolling.
Yes.
You know, that's a struggle.
It is.
Yeah, they'll play at Poen. That's going to be a big one. Number 2, East Poinsett County beat Mariana 54-6. Now I think this one's a big one.
I think so,
as they
too.
play at home against Des Arc. And let me tell you, I think you could flip
Des Arc a team coming off a loss.
Yes.
just so you know they're going to be reeling.
Absolutely.
But then you look at EPC and boy, they're just scoring a lot of points. All right, number 3, Carlisle 7-1 beat Baptist Prep 55-21. They'll play England at home. Number 4, Hazen. Everybody forgets. Let me tell you, this is the most dangerous team in 2A because everybody thinks, oh, yeah, they're not any good anymore. Or not really that, but that maybe they're not the best team in the state.
They lost 1 game by a point.
Right.
Yeah. Hey,
In double overtime.
let me tell you something, too. Don't discount that England game against Carlisle this week.
England's a very good team.
They're good, and they're just down the road. Big rivalry. I mean, that's a big game.
It is. Hazen beat Episcopal 48-6, and they'll play Bearden Friday. Now, this one here is really a big one, too. Number 5, Conway Christian. Oh, yeah. They beat Mountain Bird 56-0, and now they'll go over to, I believe that's Perry County, too, isn't it?
It is Perry County.
Play Bigelow.
Oh, that's a huge game. Yeah.
Drive over the river.
Yeah.
Daryl or Dusty's going to be there. So Dusty is, he's 13, and the home team is 3-15.
Did you know that Toadsuck is a community?
I mean, I've seen the sign in Conway. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, we just know everything around here is Toadsuck.
Right.
Toadsuck Park, Toadsuck Days,
Toadsuck Bucks.
Toadsuck Bucks. Right over across the river there.
Yeah.
It's Toadsuck.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So,
How did you find out?
I looked it up on Google the other day because Kel, our pilot who works here, he said something about Toadsuck Bucks was in Toadsuck, and I was like, well, first of all, it's not. It's down in now I can't think of it. Basically Bigelow. I mean, it's down south of there. But I was like, but that got me thinking, is Toadsuck a real place? And so I looked it up, and sure enough, it's a community.
gotcha. So, this Conway Christian Bigelow game, I mean, Coach Kramer's been looking forward to this.
Yeah.
They're juniors now, but he knew that this class was going to be special.
Right.
Had them as ninth graders, went undefeated, won the conference. So, Bigelow runs a way different style of offense. I mean, they're going to line up, they're going to run it, they're going to pound you, they're going to hit you in the mouth. Conway Christian likes to throw it around a little bit.
They do.
But this Conway Christian defense has played really good this year. So, it's going to be an interesting game.
And that Bigelow defense
Yeah.
is good every year.
Yeah.
Bigelow won at 38-7 last year.
Yeah.
But this Conway Christian just got their quarterback back.
And I think most people are looking at this thinking Bigelow will run away with it.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
But it could be a game. All right, so Bryce Keithley, right? He's a safety.
Yep, safety.
All right. Did you know that he calls Pee Wee football games?
No.
He was the white hat 2 weeks ago in our Pee Wee game.
Really?
Oh,
His dad is the older guy who's over the officials for the league, who I did not realize was his dad.
He's
but
the assigner?
he assigns them.
Really?
And so he's there, And I didn't know until this week that was Keithley. And I thought, so apparently his dad lives here in Conway, I think, or maybe Mayflower. Anyway, I was blown away.
Yeah.
Hey, who did our photos for the between the
Strain photography.
Yeah, her husband was on the sideline of the Parkview Magnolia game.
Really?
I'm there talking to him, and he said, "Well, I can't do tomorrow because I've got my son plays at Conway." I was like, well, "What position?"
Oh, that would be not Brandy, but her sister,
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline.
Yeah, so he said, "My son's the kicker."
He's
And I
the
was
kicker.
Like,
That's
go,
right.
Wait, does your wife do photos? And she's like, "Yes."
I'm gonna tell you, those girls. You've never seen two women crazier about football.
They love it.
They get more excited about Conway football. You wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Well, he did a great job Thursday night.
That's the only place I've ever been where I watched them light us on fire, and football's on fire when we took pictures.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It was crazy. All right, so that takes us to number 6. Bigelow 9-0 beat Westside. JC Westside 48-22. Just mentioned they'll play at home against Conway Christian. Number 7, Des Arc lost to Cross County 38-22. That one was, I think, shocked everybody. Yeah. But they'll play. Boy, they ain't got time to feel bad about themselves because they go to EPC Friday night.
And a cross county team that even Thomas has told us since the first of the year, really talented team, but they just kind of underperformed a little bit all year. Mm-hmm. But they shown last week what they're capable of.
And they did it against Clarendon too. They did it the same thing like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Then they come out to EPC and didn't do anything.
Right.
And then,
right.
Then Des Arc.
And so this week, Mark Tree, who is number 8, they're 6-1, beat Clarendon 44-14. They're going to play at home against Cross County. Mm-hmm. Me and Maddie don't agree on this game.
Hey, I'm telling you though, because the later it gets for Cross County, Mark Tree, the basketball start bouncing.
That's right. Hey, we've talked about this all year.
Yeah,
they seem to get.
They've always since I've been at Hooten's, they've started extremely fast, and then 7-0, then they're 7-3, or something like that. They lose a couple late.
Yeah.
Because the gym is open.
And this is my favorite thing about this. We just said Conway Christian and then Bigelow. We just said Mark Tree. Now Cross County. Yeah. Number 9.
Yeah.
These teams are all bunched up, and I love it.
Now, if Cross County wins, what's their seeding? I mean, because they were fighting for a playoff.
They're just trying to get in. Cross County, while you're looking that up, Cross County's 4-3, and he's going to go over that in a little bit. Cross County's 4-3. They beat Des Arc 38-22. They'll play at Mark Tree. And then number 10, the Murfreesboro Rattlers, they're 8-0, beat Foreman 60-0, and they'll play a Lafayette County team who's not really much better. So they're probably going to roll until week 10.
Yeah. So 2A notes, and these are just quick notes because there's still so much left to play for. In the conference championship obviously is this week between Bigelow and Conway Christian, but you got Hector and Mountainburg that will probably be the 3 and 4. In the 2, if EPC wins out, they win conference, but there's still so much to play for in that conference. I mean, there's so many games that can still determine a lot. In the 3, let's see here. Looks like if Mineral Springs takes care of business against Poland will take the 3 seed, and the conference championship will be determined week 10 between Mineral Springs and Murfreesboro. And that's a big rivalry.
Huge rivalry. That's the big one in that conference.
Yeah.
I had
Murfreesboro hang with them.
I mean, it doesn't appear that that's the case when you look at the Mount Ida Murfreesboro game was kind of telling to me after seeing Mineral Springs and Mount Ida.
Yeah.
I had not considered Poland to be a huge game until you just said that, and it makes sense to me now.
Could Poland not get the 2 seed?
Now I'm very nervous, and I wasn't before. Thanks, Matt.
So if Poland happens to upset the Hornets and they beat Murfreesboro week 10, it'd be a 3-way tie, and it'd come down to points. Yeah. So they could still get the 2 or the 1. I mean,
does that mean that Mount Ida will be the 4?
Mm-hmm. I believe so. And then number 4 in the conference 4, 2A, still big game left, but should come down to week 10 between Carlisle and Hazen for the conference championship.
And then what about England?
England still, I mean, if they were to win this week, that would throw a wrench in things for sure.
What about Hector? Where are they?
Hector is in that.
They're over there with Bigelow. And,
yeah. They'll be the 3
seed. Yeah.
This is about to get really crazy.
It is. I love it. Yeah, after this week, it's going to probably be crazier.
Yeah.
We're going to bring out some computers.
It'll probably solve a few things and then complicate a few things.
Yes, for sure.
All right, we'll take a quick break. When we get back, it is time for our Pick'em Challenge.
Your insurance is only as good as your agent. At American Safeguard Insurance, we have excellent agents. I'm Tori Martin, Personal Lines Manager with ASI. Our team makes customer service a priority. American Safeguard Insurance does everything in-house, from personal to commercial, bonds to life and health. We will work fast and efficiently for you. Stop by and meet the ASI family in our new location at 1165 Bob Courtway Drive, or visit AmericanSafeguardINS.com for a free quote. Experience more coverage, more savings, and more service with American Safeguard Insurance.
Hey, high school sports fans, this is Matt McJunkins with Between the Mats, better known as Junk. For several years now, I have felt protected personally having coverage with Globe Life, Liberty National Division, Everett Associates for cancer, accidental death, and more. I feel even better now that I found out that with their Accident Protector Max policy, my boys are covered on and off the field. It provides accidental death and dismemberment for the entire family with coverage for emergency treatment, hospital stays, and more. The best part, in the unfortunate event that we have an accident, the benefits are paid directly to me. For just a few bucks a day, I can't afford not to have it. As a dad of athletes, it's important to know that my kids are protected. It's important for your kids to be protected too. Give them a call today at 501-225-5556. Globe Life, Liberty National Division, Everett and Associates. They'll get you covered. All right, we're back here in the American Safeguard Insurance Studio. Kevin, well, see, what happened was we kind of ran late, and I think Kevin fell asleep.
I think he's on the couch, his feet propped up.
He was really excited about being on tonight, but we're like 2 hours late.
Yeah, we are a little late.
Thomas just left.
Yes.
He rolled on out because that's what Thomas does. He leaves early
Got to
every
go
time.
put his girls to bed.
That's right. And I think that's what Kevin's doing also, is putting the little girl in bed.
Sure.
I have boys who are probably swinging on the chandeliers now. If we had chandeliers, we have, the poor people, like, light bulbs that are exposed,
All you youngsters with putting these kids to bed. I've got one.
Oh, I know. Yours are grown.
Fixed to be 20.
Yeah.
I feel like a grandpa.
I know it. All right, well, let's do these pick'ems.
All right, so last week,
Oh, we got to talk about it.
I did highlight my name on the pick.
So every week, Matt, we do different. We break up kind of tasks, I guess. I do all the player stats. Matty does all the games of the week and all that, and he always says, hey, he emails me on Saturday or something. Say, hey, how did we come out on the picks? And I send him to him, and then but I always copy his notes on like how the show, the format, and all that. And he had it highlighted in there, like all three of us with our names, but his was highlighted because he won last week. And I was like, that was a very kind of a subtle jerk move.
I think you used different wording, but
That's the radio version.
We'll go with that. So last week I did win at 19 of 25, which puts me at 166 out of 225 on the season. Kevin and Junk tied at 18, so a close victory nonetheless. K-Bo is.
But the problem is we're not closing the gap.
That's true. Running out of time. K-Bo's 162, Junk's at 160, so hey, it's still manageable. I mean, that could be made up in 1 week. So
It ain't going to be this week because we had two difference in our picks.
still a lot to play for. All right, so week 9, Pick'em Challenge. Number 1, England at Carlisle. I'm going Carlisle by 12.
I'm going Carlisle by 21. Kevin's got them by 17.
Number 2, the Hornets of Mineral Springs travels to Poen to take on the Fighting Justin Moores.
That's right.
I'm going to go Mineral Springs in this one by 17.
I've got Mineral by 30. Kevin's got them by 21.
Number 3, Cross County, after a big win last week against Des Arc, travel to Mark Tree. I'm going home team in this one. Mark Tree, don't let me down. I'm going Mark Tree by 3.
So tell me why. Is it because you think the emotional wear and tear will
I'll tell you.
or do you think Mark Tree's just better?
Well, I think what it is, I think Cross County's been up and down.
They have been.
They really have been inconsistent.
Well, and let's be honest, this winning thing's kind of new for them.
It is. And so Mark Tree's been pretty consistent, even though they haven't really played a lot of defense this year.
Right.
But they've scored a lot of points.
Yeah, a
And
lot of athletes.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going with.
All right, well, I've got Cross County by 6, and Kevin has Cross County by 8.
On the island.
You are.
Number 4, Des Arc at EPC. I'm going the Dennis Gaines Fighting East Point. What's their mascot over there at EPC?
Oh, if you had to ask me, I could have told you. I'm not going to think of it right now.
Dadgum. I'm going EPC by 6.
I got EPC by 2, and Kevin has EPC by 6.
All right. So number 5, Conway Christian at Bigelow for the 2A1 conference championship. As bad as I hate to do it, man, I'm rooting for my boys over here in Faulkner County, but I'm going to go Bigelow in this one by 3.
Yeah, I got Bigelow by 8. Kevin's got Bigelow by 7. EPC is the Warriors.
That's right. All right, number 6, Glen Rose at Center Point. Big playoff implications here. Both teams 5-0 in conference, and so this could be for a conference championship. I've got Glen Rose by 10.
I've got Glen Rose by 18. Kevin also has them by 10.
Okay, number 7, Salem at Perryville. Another big playoff implication game. Both teams 4-0 in conference. Could be for a conference championship. I've got Salem by 7.
I've got Salem by 16. Kevin has them by 14.
Okay. Number 8, DeWitt at McGee. McGee's a tough place to go down and play. It's a big game for McGee to stay in the playoff race. If they lose this one, it's going to be really hard for them to get in, but I think the Dragons are just too much for them. I've got DeWitt by 3.
I tell you, this one was really hard for me because McGee has played some ball.
They have.
And DeWitt has had some close ones.
Mm-hmm.
And it's at McGee.
Right. Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game.
Now, Kevin has DeWitt by 12.
Really?
2 scores.
Okay. Number 9, Nashville at Malvern. I'm going to go with the Leopards of Malvern by 13.
I'm going to go Malvern by 21. I think even if Nashville plays well, I think just Malvern's that good.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin's got Malvern by 17.
Number 10, Haskell Harmony Grove at Mayflower in that 4A mess. I think there's a lot left to play for. Mayflower is kind of, I wouldn't say their back's against the wall, but they pretty much have to have this one to make the playoffs. So I'm going Mayflower by 3.
I've got Mayflower by 2. Kevin has Haskell Harmony Grove by 3.
He's on the island.
He is. So me and you only have 2 different.
That's crazy.
You and him have 2 different, but we're not all the same 2.
I'll be dang.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right, number 11, Clinton, playing some good football the last couple of weeks. Will travel to Lamar. You're talking about another place that's hard to go play. Lamar running that flex bone. I'm going to go Clinton in this one by 6.
Let me tell you something, Clinton. You have let me down. I've picked against you, and you let me down, so that's more my fault than yours. But I'm going with you this week, so don't let me down. Clinton by 2. Kevin's got him by 13.
All right. Number 12, Pocahontas at Blytheville. I think, Blytheville, even though it was a head-scratcher last week against Truman, I thought the margin of victory would be a little bit more.
I did too. I really, really did.
I still think they bounce back this week. I got Blytheville by 10.
Yeah, I still think they're going to lead that conference. I've got Blytheville by 8. No, Kevin's got them by 10 like you.
All right, number 13, Heber Springs. The Panthers playing some good football this year under Coach Van Pascal. Is this his first year or second?
First.
Yeah, first year. So, man, what a turnaround he's made there. They will travel over to Harding Academy, and if you want to know how much progress you've made, this is a good test.
You're going to find out, yeah.
Both teams 4-0 in the conference. This one is for the conference championship. I'm going to go Harding Academy by 13.
I've got Harding Academy by 12. Kevin has them by 17.
All right. Number 14, Ozark at Gravette. Ozark coming off that tough defeat last week to Elkins where they did not score. We didn't talk about this much. As impressive as that Elkins offense is, their defense is pretty doggone good.
We didn't know. We thought, well, they might be good.
Sure.
They are.
They are, yeah. So Ozark at Gravette. Both teams 4-1 in conference. So this is a big game for that number 2 seed. I'm going to go Ozark, the road team, in this one by 7.
I've got Ozark by 10. Kevin has them by 14.
Number 15, Pea Ridge at Farmington. Farmington coming off that huge win last week against Shiloh. Kind of shocked the state, I believe, in that one. I've got Farmington in this one by 4.
Boy, if Pea Ridge pulled this one up, they'd really throw a kink in things.
It sure would.
I've got Farmington by 18. Kevin's got them by 10.
All right, number 16, Parkview, the Patriots, will travel to Hot Springs Lakeside. The biggest test probably since week, 2 for Parkview.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Parkview in this one by 17.
I've got Parkview by 28. Kevin has Parkview by 35.
All right, number 17, Hot Springs at Camden Fairview. Big game in the 5A South. I'm going to go Hot Springs and the Fighting Matty Ices by 7.
I got Hot Springs by 2. This is the one team I think in the conference that will really push Hot Springs outside of Parkview, obviously. But I think Camden Fairview, they're Jekyll and Hyde, but lately they've been more Jekyll than Hyde. So I'm gonna say Hot Springs by 2. Kevin's got Hot Springs by 7.
Okay. Number 18, Valley View at Nettleton. Big game in the 5A East, as Valley View can pretty much wrap up conference championship with a win here. I've got Valley View in this one by 13.
I've got Valley View by 16 and Kevin by 10.
Number 19, Southside at Batesville. You talk about a crosstown rivalry.
Yeah.
This one is it. I'm going to go with the Southerners in this one. I'm going to go Southside by 7.
I agree with you, man. I think Southside, they played that Valley View team. That was closer than I thought it was going to be. So that keeps them. They're just a one-loss team. I think Southside wins this one by 6. Kevin's got them by 14.
All right, number 20, Morrilton at Mills. A Mills team that impressively won last week without several starters. They're starting quarterback, and so just amazing how they were able to come out and win. I've got Mills in this one by 10.
I've got Mills by 12, Kevin by 4.
Okay. Number 21, Greenwood at Pulaski Academy. Can the Bulldogs go into vaunted PA Stadium and do what nobody's been able to do in the last 10 years?
Haven't lost there in 10 years.
They haven't lost in 10 years.
Wow.
I am going to pick the Bulldogs in this one. I've got Greenwood by 17.
I've got Greenwood by 16 and Kevin by 14. But, man,
that's an impressive stat.
Hard to pick against that.
Yeah, it really is. Number 22, Van Buren at Mountain Home. And I think, of course, Greenwood PA's the headliner in this conference, but this is going to be a heck of a ball game.
Sure.
I've got Mountain Home, the home team, in this one by 3.
Me too. I got them by 3. Kevin's got them by 10.
All right, number 23, Benton at West Memphis. The Panthers of Benton just too strong in this one. I've got Benton by 14.
I've got Benton by 18 and Kevin by 28.
Number 24, and I changed my pick in this one.
I know, you left me on an island.
Bentonville West at Fort Smith Southside. I had West picked at first, but I changed my – after that, saw that 77 spot put up, I changed it to Southside by 3.
I saw the 54 spot put up on the other side. So Kevin's got Southside by 3 also. I've got Bentonville West by 9. Okay. I think it's a coin flip.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah. Number 25, our last game for Week 9, Pick'ems. Conway at Jonesboro. Is this a trap game for the Wampus Cats?
I just don't buy it.
I say no. I've got Conway by 21.
I got Conway by 18. Kevin has them by 21.
All right, and if you are picking at home for the tiebreaker on the Pick'em Challenge, it is Little Rock Southwest at Little Rock Central. So big Pulaski County matchup there between
the
Tigers
Griffins
and the Griffins.
Yep.
All right, so that'll wrap us up for our Pick'ems.
When we get back, we're fixing to do player stats, and we better do them in a hurry, Matty.
Running out of time.
That's right. We'll be back shortly.
Big enough to serve you, small enough to care. That's not just a tagline. It's what we believe at Collier Roofing and Seamless Gutters. We also believe that relationships are more important than sales figures. By focusing on relationships, we have been blessed with 10 years in this industry. The Collier Roofing team will celebrate those 10 years of service in November, the month of thanks and gratitude. To commemorate this achievement and provide an expression of our thanks, we invite our trusted partners, clients, and friends to join us in a celebration on Wednesday, November the 8th. For details, follow Collier Roofing LLC on Facebook.
All right, we're back here. It's time for our player stats. Matty, let's roll.
All right, my favorite segment at Mineral Springs, KT Thomas. Man, what a ball game this kid had. 7 touchdowns, 6 of them rushing, and 1 kickoff return, and also had 6 tackles. Ramaj Ware, 10 tackles on the night, and Evan Irwin at Mineral Springs was 11 of 17 for 138 yards and 1 touchdown.
Over at Little Rock Christian, Walker White, 20 of 26, 324 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 carries, 15 yards. Jake Field from Little Rock Christian, 2 catches, 125 yards, 1 touchdown, 6 tackles, 1 pass breakup, and a pick 6. And then Jackson Ward at Christian, 12 carries, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Hey, and listen to this. At Jack Field, that's his 4th game in a row with a pick 6.
Really? That's awesome. So apparently he's a cousin to Walker White.
Okay, very nice. In Bryant, Jordan Walker, the quarterback there, 13 of 24, 190 yards and 2 touchdowns and 9 carries, 23 yards and a score. James Martin, the running back for Bryant, 14 carries, 189 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Sean Rycraw, 3 catches, 104 yards and 1 touchdown.
All right, over in Dardanelle, Creed Vega, 7 for 10, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 catch, 23 yards, 9 carries, 60 yards, 1 touchdown, 6 tackles, and a forced fumble. And this was all in the first half.
Wow, what a stat line. And you got one more there in Dardanelle.
Oh, yeah. Can't forget about J.J. Ernest, who had a great game. 1 carry, 20 yards, 7 catches, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, 9 tackles, and an interception.
Awesome.
Oh, I got one more.
You do. You got 2 more.
Oh, yeah. Dardanelle, it never ends. Latrevius Robinson, 20 carries, 70 yards, 1 touchdown, 6 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 sack. And then Rod Sten, 7 carries. I hope I pronounced that right. 18 yards, 5 for 8 for 30 yards passing and 7 tackles. So he came in and threw that after Creed Vega played the first half.
Very nice. Over in Perryville, Carner Frith, you heard us talk about him earlier, got his 10th interception of the season, also had 210 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and I think he had a rushing touchdown as well. So what a night for him.
What a night, man. Drake Lindsey at Fayetteville, 22 of 26, 265 yards, 5 touchdowns. It's just another Friday for Lindsey. Christian Setz, 12 carries, 112 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 catch for 7 yards. Landon Luck, 8 catches, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then his number 1 target, Jason Delamar, 7 catches, 74 yards, 2 touchdowns.
In Monticello, John Jackson, 23 carries, 138 yards. Jagger Hines had 8 tackles, 1 pick 6.
Malachi Sanders down in Murfreesboro, 4 carries, 85 yards, 3 touchdowns. Tay Johnson, 7 carries, 60 yards, 1 touchdown. And Travis Reed, 3 tackles, 2 interceptions, 1 of them for a score.
Mr. Lucas Sims himself over in Atkins, 10 tackles, 1 pick 6, one pick for 60 yards, and a pass breakup on 4th down.
Yeah, I think he got down to about the 6-yard line on the
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Donovan Amolo, Conway, 10 for 16, 185 yards, 3 touchdowns, and another touchdown running the football. Desi Davidson, 8 carries, 29 yards, 1 touchdown, and then Chris O'Neal, 4 catches, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jackson Anderson, 2 catches, 70 yards, 1 touchdown.
Over in Bauxite, Mr. Marcus Wimberly, the soon-to-be Razorback, 8 carries, 45 yards, 1 touchdown, 5 tackles, and 1 pass breakup.
So they were talking about the other day on the buzz about them playing in the pit.
Yep.
And somebody asked them, why is it the pit? And, I mean, to me, it seems like because they're miners.
Right.
They're in the mining pit.
Sure.
Pretty cool little place, though.
If you ever watched a game there?
No, we played them my senior year, but we played them at Mineral.
It's a really cool atmosphere
Is
over
it?
there. Yeah.
I know back in the day they used to not lose very many football games.
They did not.
Dizzy Dean at Elkins, 13 of 20, 229 yards, 3 touchdowns. Deshaun Chairs, 14 carries, 88 yards, 1 touchdown. And John Townsend, 3 catches, 144 yards, 1 touchdown. Stone Dean, get this, 2 catches, 10 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Very nice.
That's efficient, isn't it?
Yes.
And then Landon Neal, 4 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles.
All right, in Jonesboro, Asa Myers, 13 of 24, 235 yards and 3 touchdowns. And I think that's the quarterback that Thomas was saying it was the backup that came in, the sophomore that did a really good job.
Yes.
And then Markevius Pickett in Jonesboro had 31 carries for 150 yards and a score. And then Chris Stacy, the great receiver up there in Jonesboro, 9 catches for 162 yards and a touchdown.
And 9 catches is a busy night.
It is.
Ashton Gray at Marion, 484 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Over in PA, Brandon Cobb, big night over in Greenbrier, was 32 of 49 for 366 yards, 4 touchdowns, and also had 12 carries for 48 yards. And, man, he didn't run it a lot, but when he did, he made the most of it, picked up some big first downs. Over in PA as well, Walden Culpepper, 11 catches, 97 yards, 2 scores. Andrew Pfizer, 6 catches, 106 yards, and a touchdown. And William Swoboda, 7 catches, 90 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Trey Hopkins in Nashville, Arkansas, the Scrappers, 6 carries, 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. Tucker Dixon in Nashville, 13 carries, 168 yards, 1 touchdown. And Cortez Cooper in Nashville, a pick 6. Hey, let me tell you, Tucker Dixon, cousin to Owen Duke at PA.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I'll be dead gone. Over in CAC, Grayson Wilson, 19 of 25, 377 yards, and 5 scores. Riddleson Sullivan, 14 carries, 71 yards, and 2 scores. And then Josiah Warrior Benson, 7 catches, 125 yards, and a touchdown. And Tyler Blakely, 3 catches, 121, and 2 scores.
Over in Prescott, Genoa Harris, 6 carries, 82 yards. Pierce Yates, 10 of 15, 203 yards, 1 touchdown, 9 carries, 32 yards, 1 touchdown. P.J. Gully having a great season. He had 2 catches, 89 yards, and 1 touchdown. Dwayne White, 3 catches, 20 yards, 2 carries, 12 yards. And Dakari Prater, another stud, 71-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
Matty Ice Contreras in Hot Springs, 13 of 28, 402 yards, 6 touchdowns through the air. Also had 4 carries for 26 yards. And Tyler Honey, 6 catches, 209 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
6 tutties. That's what the kids are calling it now. They call them tutties.
Tutties?
Tutties.
Okay.
That's a YouTube thing.
Okay.
All right, over in Pocahontas, DJ Coffee, 13 carries, 108 yards, 1 tutty.
In Newport, Luke Reynolds, 13 of 22, 152 yards, 3 touchdowns. Amani Wren, 4 catches, 73 yards, 2 scores. Also had 5 tackles and 1 interception.
Amari Tucker at Fort Smith Southside, 302 yards, 3 touchdowns. Carter Zimmerman, 280 yards total with 3 touchdowns for the quarterback. Isaac Gregory, 115 yards, 4 touchdowns.
In Clinton, Mr. Zane Widener, 20 carries, 107 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 catches for 58 yards and a score. We don't ever get his defensive stats, but I'm sure they're pretty impressive as well.
After another 5 touchdown night.
Yeah. Also in Clinton, Zach Hunt had 12 carries for 84 yards and a score. And the quarterback, Brody Dufresne, 5 of 6 for 121 yards and a touchdown.
Omarion Robinson, another kick return, a punt return for 75 yards for a touchdown for the Parkview Patriot. And then Jermaine Penny from Parkview, a pick 6. Cam Saddles, 2 carries, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's it.
And in Benton, Drew Davis, we hear his name about every week. 12 of 14 for 265 yards and 3 touchdowns. Elias Payne, 4 catches, 181 yards, 2 scores.
Jackson England, the quarterback from Catholic, was 12 for 15, 149 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 carries, 41 yards, 1 touchdown. Paul Plafkin, 7 catches, 75 yards, 1 touchdown.
In Greenwood, Kane Archer, 15 of 19, 181 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Get this, 17 carries for 174 yards and 4 scores.
He didn't run the ball very much when we played.
I don't think he ran it at all.
Yeah, that's wild.
Also in Greenwood, Mr. Grant Carnes, 5 carries, 67 yards, and a score. And Isaiah Arrington, 6 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown.
Andrew Bjork, 6 of 12 for the Maumelle Hornet, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns. Joe Mason, 4 catches, 46 yards, 2 touchdowns, 7 pass breakups.
Wow.
He was busy in the defensive backfield.
He was.
And then Elijah Newell from Maumelle, 8 carries, 105 yards, 1 touchdown.
Owen Miller, Harding Academy, 9 of 9, 116 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 carries for 37 yards. That will get your completion percentage up a little bit.
But his is always up.
I know it is.
You know, we see Drew Davis down there, and every time I see his, I think he's just like Owen Miller.
He is. And then also at Harding Academy, Isaac Baker had 3 catches for 51 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5 carries for 68 yards, and a score. And then in Greenbrier, Miles Miller, 12 catches, 167 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a block field goal.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And that will do it.
That's it. So that gets us to
our Players of the Week. So week 9, Players of the Week. Junk, take us away.
All right. So in 2A is KT Thomas from Mineral Springs. 3A, Connor Frith from Perryville with his 10th interception. 4A from Nashville, Trey Hopkins. 5A from Dardanelle, J.J. Ernest. 6A from Little Rock Christian, Jake Field. And then 7A from Bryant, Sean Rycraw.
Awesome. Very good. Congratulations to all the young men that we announced your stats this week, having some great ball games. And for the players of the week, keep your eye out for your T-shirt. It'll be on the way shortly.
All right, so real quick, before we take a break and then hit our college talk, our winner this week for Pick'ems, 20 of 25.
Dang, he beat me.
No, he didn't. She did.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Very nice.
That's right. That is Nicole Wright.
Congratulations, and you have qualified.
I'm trying to think. Noonbuyer, Heather. She sent us a picture today.
Okay.
So I've got that. I've got to post.
Good deal.
And so she sent us a picture with her cup in her hand.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Very good. Very
So,
good. So
did you request those when you sent them out?
I did.
That's
Yep,
awesome.
I did.
Because we do that with our players of the week.
Yep.
But that's cool that you sent that, and now we'll be able to post our winners.
Yeah,
with their swag.
If you did get your cup and your hat, send us a pic.
Yeah.
And so congratulations to
Nicole Wright,
who
picked better than any of us three this week.
And
20 and 25.
and qualified for the playoff challenge.
Oh yeah,
So,
$300
$300.
bones.
That's right. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to touch very quickly on some college talk, and then we're going to get out of here.
Your insurance is only as good as your agent. At American Safeguard Insurance, we have excellent agents. I'm Tori Martin, Personal Lines Manager with ASI. Our team makes customer service a priority. American Safeguard Insurance does everything in-house, from personal to commercial, bonds to life and health. We will work fast and efficiently for you. Stop by and meet the ASI family in our new location at 1165 Bob Courtway Drive, or visit AmericanSafeguardINS.com for a free quote. Experience more coverage, more savings, and more service with American Safeguard Insurance.
All right, Maddie, in your fastest impression of college talk, let's go.
All right, hog stink. UCA plays on the stripes.
I wasn't ready for that.
Hogs, man, just a tough loss. 7-3, 205 yards total offense, and it got Enos fired for that reason. Just tough, man. I just hope they don't let go of the rope, but it's going to be hard not to at this point.
Boy, tough one coming up this week.
Yeah, for sure. UCA was off last week. Big conference game for them this week on the stripes at home. It's homecoming.
Yeah.
Got Tarleton coming in here.
So how have they been?
They're a solid football team. They're 5-3, but 1-2 in conference. So it's
Winning record.
It's going to be a tough test for them.
When have they not had a tough test? I mean, it's just like a close one every week.
It really is. Hey, get this. Their running back, Kayvon Britton, transferred from UAPB.
Really?
Yeah. He's averaging 6.3 yards a carry and 94 yards a game, so he's a good one.
Come back home.
No doubt. All right, OBU beat Tech 31-24. Man, that Tech team has turned it around. They're playing good football.
They have.
OBU will be at SNU this week. So
that's no team that's not bad.
No, it's not. And Harding, man, what an impressive win.
It was. I watched the second half.
After that emotional win against OBU, to go and have to play at SAU.
Yeah. I was worried about this one.
And then beat them 54-20.
You know, this SAU team beat Henderson.
Yeah.
And that Henderson-Harding game was very close.
Yeah, for sure.
Omar Sinclair and I just lost his name. The running back, both of them had over 200 yards.
Over 200 apiece.
There's 600 yards total rushing.
Golly.
Yep.
Harding moves up to number 4 in the country.
Yeah, and I thought, you know, you see one of those polls sometimes that has them higher than they, you know. No, everyone I looked at, they're at 4.
That's awesome, man. They're playing well.
They are.
Henderson beat UAM 42-14. They will be at home against Northwestern Oklahoma. Harding plays at Southeastern Oklahoma.
Harding, I saw this today, too, in one of those polls. It said that the remainder of Harding's schedule are all under 500.
Oh, wow. So
yeah.
They pretty much got it wrapped up.
You would think.
And then Tech lost, like I said, to OBU in a close game, and they play at East Central. ASU lost to Coastal Carolina 27-17, and they play at Monroe.
Blake De La Cruz. I couldn't think of that kid's name. Oh, yeah. I love his name. Yeah. He's more of the up-the-middle back.
Gotcha.
Had 206 yards up the middle.
Yeah. Well, that's going to wrap us up. We appreciate you listening. Hey, 2 weeks left, regular season. Get out, support.
Go watch football.
Yeah, for sure. We'll check y'all next week.
Your insurance is only as good as your agent. At American Safeguard Insurance, we have excellent agents. I'm Tori Martin, Personal Lines Manager with ASI. Our team makes customer service a priority. American Safeguard Insurance does everything in-house, from personal to commercial, bonds to life and health. We will work fast and efficiently for you. Stop by and meet the ASI family in our new location at 1165 Bob Courtway Drive, or visit AmericanSafeguardINS.com for a free quote. Experience more coverage, more savings, and more service with American Safeguard Insurance.
Big enough to serve you, small enough to care. That's not just a tagline, it's what we believe at Collier Roofing and Seamless Gutters. We also believe that relationships are more important than sales figures. By focusing on relationships, we have been blessed with 10 years in this industry. The Collier Roofing team will celebrate those 10 years of service in November, the month of thanks and gratitude. To commemorate this achievement and provide an expression of our thanks, we invite our trusted partners, clients, and friends to join us in a celebration on Wednesday, November the 8th. For details, follow Collier Roofing LLC on Facebook.